starts his talk. Be good to, if there's a question.
Shoo-be-doo. Well, soon you're going to be moseying down the old highway.
I am. Friday afternoon.
Let's see. Let's see here. Copy link. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Ooh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Salutations and greetings, my divine friends. Welcome to Wednesday night live stream meditation, where we are somewhat focused upon the magic, the mystery of the star tetrahedron, and of course what it signifies for each of us as we go through this evolutionary awakening into light activation. I wanted to chat tonight a little bit about the theme, you're not looking for the light. As most of you know, I've done, thousands of readings or readings where I help individuals discern what is the level of light that is being embodied within. It's predicated, enlightenment, upon the four aspects being unified: Father Sky, Spirit above; Mother Earth, form below; masculine right, feminine left. And this is then the cross upon which we, as souls, spirits, are crucified, so to speak, within the worlds of materiality. It's a blessing to be crucified within the worlds of form, because we already are within the other dimensions, what we might call the fifth or the sixth dimensional planes of light. We already are within that place of perfection, of oneness with living within light. But there was no form. There was nothing to really taste, to touch, to feel. And so we contrived. We were able then to take energy and then in frequency move it down so that it began to be densified into form. And for the first time, spirit, divine mind, source, could then literally reflect itself within dimensional reality and see what it could be for the first time. Otherwise, it was like living in an amorphous field of light, which of course is blissful, so to speak. But after a while, it can be somewhat boring if you're just hanging around in amorphous light all the time. And so it was some of the excitement and joy, you see, that we wanted to, if you will, create a revelation into form where we could be surprised, where we could be always excited and joyful about what might be the next possibility, what it is that we might be creating or architecting. And because we came out of the light, the perfection, there's part of us as spiritual seekers, we're still looking for the light. And so when I look at individuals within their field, there's often a lot of light from maybe the diaphragm up. And so they have been looking for eons of time, finding information, wisdom, honing it, refining it, owning it, becoming filled with integrity, filled with goodness, with love. But then when we move to the energy centers below the diaphragm, they really then move into self-empowerment. How do I feel really about the deepest aspects of myself? Excuse me. Is my power truly aligned with loving myself 100%, even as a human form, a human body? And then we move into the second chakra of emotion and feeling. Have I fallen completely and in a place of really cherishing the being I am? Or am I still looking for light, maybe very beautifully exteriorizing the light in healing and service to others? Beautiful, bravo. But has it really moved into a deep and abiding acknowledgement of the childlike magic and splendor within? And then finally, to the first chakra, the base of the spine, which is about the survival, the integrity of the physical body. But equally important, the body is mother. It's earth. It is what we as spirits decided we wanted to reflect ourselves within. And we're seeking over time, you see, to reflect that which is the purity and the grace of the already enlightened beings we are, but within form. And so It's no longer just an amorphous world. It's a world that is filled with magic, butterflies and birds and dolphins and sunsets and foods and sensuality. But living as we move further into light activation in total harmony and peace and childlike joy and excitement, no longer living within the old paradigm of still wanting or needing or trying to make or do or manipulate or having power issues. Nothing wrong with any of that. It's been part of the evolution that we chose, that we decided we would put ourselves into to learn about the right side power, masculine, the left side feminine feeling, and then begin to hone it, refine it into its true principle, which we know for masculine power is a silent mind that is simply focusing light and attention. And then we fully then bring the feminine of feeling, of love, of compassion into fullness because we have so completely loved ourselves. We're no longer looking for something. We're no longer looking for love or acknowledgement or things in the world to validate us. We, through the feminine principle, we have loved ourselves profoundly. We have awakened the childlike quality, which is literally a aspect of the divine that we are. It literally puts a jewel-like quality of itself down into form. And so we, as purity, are embodied as the magical child. But as we then awaken, you see the child through love and through the father of action and the mother of love. We then awaken that soul quality, which is joy, creativity, imagination, adventure, excitement, enthusiasm. Excuse me. And then the world you see that we then create from that is a world of joy, excitement, enthusiasm, creativity, magic. And so this is, again, the paradigm that we are transitioning to as we transition out of the old. And so in this new becoming, you see, we're no longer looking for the light. We are simply finding and realizing I am the light. It already is within me. It doesn't mean we can't read a book or listen to videos or even sit with a teacher. All of those are fine, but are you still looking outside of yourself for something to make you fulfilled? One of the other interesting things that I talked with one of our friends, students, a couple of days ago is that she has been with a whole group of new seekers, let's say maybe new millennial seekers, if you will. I don't know the exact age group, but she said everyone was so focused upon finding something to bring them enlightenment. And so it was ayahuasca, it was mushrooms, it was, maybe marijuana, whatever. Again, nothing wrong with any of those things. If one uses them one or two times to explore the realms of spirit, so be it. But if it's a continual process, you see, of looking to plant medicine for your light, you then are giving your power away to something outside of you. And it literally then begins to pull energy outside of your aura and begins to disempower you in your need to find the light. You then give your light away. So once again, we're moving to the place where we realize I am the light. And it's about learning to focus the mind clearly, precisely, impeccably, finding that feeling of love and joy and harmony as that childlike magic, and then bringing that which is spirit above, and then bringing mother and from beneath. And so marrying the two together, literally all of those energetic waves come back together and they meet here within the heart chakra, which then begins to create an energetic wave form that we know is called the jewel in the lotus, which is in fact the star tetrahedron. And the beauty and the magnificence of this structure, because it is the mystical marriage of Father Sky, Mother Earth, masculine and feminine, all the polar opposites of creation. There's no longer disliking anything, nor judging, nor criticizing. There's only the emanation of love, even for the deepest darkness, because we realize within There's still only spirit hiding, yes, maybe very cleverly, but there's only love and compassion. And now all this energy is now woven back together, and it does begin to architect this geometry of the star tetrahedron. And as the upper triangulation of divine power is moving and the lower triangulation of divine feminine love is moving, it is then this movement of these facets. So this is a faceted jewel. It's moving at hyper speed in all ways. But as it does, it then opens a doorway within the middle. And from out of it, then spirit source can begin to arise forth from inside out. So I'm not looking for the light, I am the light. God I am is now arising forth as the living waters from within me. And this is exactly what Jesus said. I am the living water. All that God is, I am. Not that he was God, so to speak, but the living essence of source was arising forth from within because there was perfect balance and harmony within all of his aspects. And as we begin to refine and begin to see and feel the star tetrahedron, the living jewel, we literally begin to realize that there is this open doorway. And with our breath, which we know as we're breathing in spirit. There's the old adage that the breath of life is spirit. Well, it's true. And so as we're breathing in, we're summoning spirit from inside out. And then as spirit then arises forth, with the exhale, it touches the facets of this spinning star tetrahedron. It then becomes glittering, effervescent, living sunlight, that which we call the Christ light. It then proceeds out into the world. It edifies, it upholds, it begins to balance and align and harmonize without even trying. And so we're no longer trying to change the world. Just like the sun, we shine brilliantly and filled with hope and joy and peace for all creation. And it edifies and it grows and unfolds ever more beautifully. And then we begin to magnetize to us individuals who vibrate to that same frequency. And we begin to create a new paradigm of true light embodied workers, no longer looking for the light. If someone is looking for the light, we're not judging that or disliking it. We're simply bringing information, a new way of living, a new way of being, a way that is truly, I am the living light. So it's a very exciting time as we then move into this light activation within. So one of the most important things we can do to continue to hone, refine all aspects is our meditation practice. If we're reading and using the mind to listen to videos and read books and look at movies, that again, all well and fine. And so the mind then creates more and more light within it. But when we then train the mind to be a silent instrument, all the light that we've gathered begins to be focused and silent. This is the true aspect of divine masculine. Just like when you go to the movie, they turn the bright projector on. They then focus it upon the film, the feminine feeling heart. It then ripples out, and voila, there's the magic on the screen. And so it's the same with us as we move into this new paradigm. I am the living light. I focus upon my dreams. It pre-creates them for me, and then I magnetize them to me. So it's effortless creation. So as we're meditating, what we're doing is, we're literally then bringing light in and we're bringing it down through the diaphragm. And we're then beginning to imagine and feel what are the feelings, what are the emotions that live below the diaphragm. What is it that still is within my unconscious that I have not yet to learn to love profoundly? No judgment, no criticism, no dislike of that, but let me simply, as a wounded animal, let me love it. Let me feel what this injury was. Let me so love this animal part of me that it awakens back into splendor. This is what we're doing with this childlike part of us that was symbolically wounded by a world of ignorance. Again, not bad, not judging, but things happen to us that really weren't in our highest fulfillment. Part of learning about how to then be totally balanced and compassionate in this new age coming. So meditation is a very important tool, my friends, in really bringing the light in and beginning to balance and harmonize. As we're, of course, doing the meditation, we're then feeling the living light arising forth from out of the heart, and we then observe and watch the living waters, the sunlight sparkling, flowing from us. It flows through every cell and tissue of the body. It then begins to, what we call epigenetics, it begins to upgrade all the cellular DNA. We change the body, more love, more joy, more light. We harmonize all these back together. We become the living light. Somewhat simple, huh? Oh, not really. Time and effort and joy, my friends, time, effort, and joy. But it does come with a money back guarantee. If we simply keep at the process, you will become the living light because you already are the living light. That's simple. One of the things that we do in our Wednesday night is breath work. We know that as we're breathing in from the open doorway within the heart chakra. We're literally summoning source spirit from inside out. We call it the So Hum breath meditation. The So is the in breath. The hum is the letting go, allowing sparkling, effervescent liquid light to simply flow and emanate all around us. And then as we do our meditation, you see, we are then observing as the star tetrahedron, the jewel in the lotus is formulated, that as we're breathing in source spirit. The star tetrahedron is magnifying quantumly. It becomes literally a nuclear energy of radiance coming from us. This is the individual Christ, Buddha, Krishna, all the great masters. It's who we already are. It's what we are now stepping into. So let's do about 5 minutes of breath work, please. We like to have the spine nice and erect. The spinal column is what's called the cord of initiation, from the base of the spine, mother, to father, sky above. It becomes a golden tube of living light. So let's go ahead and begin slow, deep belly breathing, summoning source from the open doorway within the heart chakra. Gently focusing attention, breath arising as living spirit, observing sparkling, effervescent golden light, just like the sun. I am the light. And another couple of slow, deep breaths, summoning spirit from the open doorway within the heart. And then slowly and easily coming back into the moment of the now. As we're doing our meditation, I'm particularly focused all the time that I'm observing, watching, feeling the star tetrahedron and its movement, of seeing that I'm then also summoning the living breath from inside out. And then as it is then flowing out from me, it becomes this very dynamic living water, sparkling, effervescent. And if I allow my mind to wander, it can be dissipated a bit. But then I come back once again to refocusing and always training myself to be more aware of the living breath is bringing in spirit, touching the facets of the living star, and I am the living light. And as we practice that more and more each day, you see it, and we are that becoming. So I'm going to take you through the sequencing of the star tetrahedron meditation. We don't focus too much on necessarily the movement of the star. The more important part is the open doorway within the heart. We will find as we continue to breathe and watch the doorway and feel it, that we then begin to observe and see that the upper triangulation is moving left to right, the lower triangulation right to left, but then it's spinning front and back and left and right and all around. But once again, we don't get lost in observing and trying to make that happen. We simply begin to allow it to reveal itself. More importantly, it's the breath spirit from the open doorway within the heart. So let's go ahead and close the eyes and feel the body relaxing. And we bring our attention between the eyebrows. Knowing as we draw a line straight back, we imagine it. Within the approximate center point of the head, the pituitary pineal gland, we imagine and ignite the light, the seed of the soul. Allowing light to fill the mind, to fill the brain. I am the light. We gently focus the light to the heart chakra at the sternum, and we illuminate the star tetrahedron, whatever size you choose that feels comfortable. And within the area of the heart, the sternum is the open doorway into spirit void, from out of which all creation is arising forth. We now are the breath of life. And with each in-breath, summoning spirit, living light. On the exhale, Through the facets of the star tetrahedron, the Christ matrix, it becomes living light. And together we magnify as we all join together. I am the living light. And very easily now, slowly coming back, more and more into the moment of the now. So it's a bit of a challenge when most of the world is still looking outside of itself for validation, the light, awareness. But this is the blessing of this particular meditation. It continues to turn us inwardly to know that as I'm breathing, I'm drawing in the living light. I'm allowing it to flow from me, and I am the gift of light into the world, which really begins to change the dynamics of the world. We see it crumbling and falling apart, so it's not about trying to make it different. It's about, again, just like a fertilizer, it just moves beneath the illusion, the separation, and begins to heal it and bring it back into light. Miss Du?
Yes, I have a text
Okay.
from Diana, who's with us tonight.
Hello, my friend.
And she has a question for you. She would like to know, I would like to know what my cosmic family lineage is. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have a very strong angelic connection. And with that angelic connection, it's a high frequency and it has a tendency to want to take you up and out, which is why it's so important for you to be grounded and bringing the light in and through. The angels are always there to guide us. They only do the will of the highest, what we would call divine mind. They don't really have free will. At the same time, we can call upon them and ask them to assist us in our daily practice, in prosperity, in meeting people. So that's definitely part of your cosmic family. It's also part of your work that has been down through time and space. Has been more of what we might call the priestess energy. Again, this is bringing forth information. It's the knowing. It's the awareness of source. And once again, it's now time to bring that in and through, grounded through the body, and realize that as we bring the light into the dark, that it's just an illusion of separation. And as we then love the darkness, we find within it there's only source. Source is the only thing in all creation emerged from out of source. And as we're then symbolically loving the darkness within us, the emotions of fear or sadness or loneliness or anger, whatever they are, as we slip beneath them, we always find one thing, and that's that childlike part of us that is the peace of the soul, the purity that was judged or criticized or programmed in some negative energy from the world. But then we feel that feeling, that emotion, that symbolic darkness. We are then the divine mother, father, the soul that so feels the darkness, then loves the child within, the essence of the soul. It awakens back into life. And then once again, separation falls away and we become the master of the light, the dark, the good, the bad, the yin, the yang, because they're all just the plays of the polar opposites of creation. Nothing is out of balance. Nothing is happening except for life revealing itself. And we then have the choice, will I be in judgment or dislike? Or will I find what is reflecting the judgment or dislike out there that's really something inside that I'm now healing and bringing into light activation? So, a very marvelous energy field. And as you're working in that divine place that you live and being grounded with Mother Nature, it's definitely a great of assistance. All right, my dear friends, thank you very much for coming and playing this evening. And we'll see you again in two weeks. So blessings upon all. Blessings.